Welcome back to the channel where we dig deep into the fascinating world of coins and currency. Today we're talking about one of the most iconic coins in American history, the wheat penny. Now, if you've ever gone through your old coin jar or inherited a coin collection, you might have come across a wheat penny or two. But did you know that some of these humble pennies can be worth thousands or millions of dollars in today's collector market? That's right. Some of these coins are incredibly rare and have skyrocketed in value due to their low mintages, historical significance, and of course rarity. So stay tuned, because in this video we're breaking down the top ultra-rare, low mintage, and most valuable wheat penny 1-cent coins you could find today. First up, we're talking about one of the most beloved coins in US history, the wheat penny, specifically the 1926 version without a mint mark in very fine condition. This coin could hold a surprising amount of value, and we're here to break it all down for you. The wheat penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, was first introduced in 1909 and produced until 1958. This penny was designed by Victor David Brenner to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Brenner's design features Lincoln on the obverse or front side, making it the first U.S. coin to bear the likeness of a president. On the reverse, you'll find two wheat stalks, symbolizing abundance and prosperity. Hence the name wheat penny. The 1926 wheat penny is a particularly sought-after coin, but what makes it so special? So let's focus specifically on the 1926 wheat penny. First, the important detail: this coin doesn't have a mint mark. What does that mean? It was minted in Philadelphia, the main branch of the U.S. Mint, which at the time didn't include mint marks on its coins. These pennies are pretty uncommon, but the value increases based on condition and rarity. When we talk about coin conditions, very fine refers to a coin that has seen some circulation but retains most of its detail. On a very fine 1926 wheat penny, you can clearly see Lincoln's face, with minor wear around the edges of his coat and hair. The wheat stalks on the reverse are still prominent, though they may show slight wear. Now, why do collectors love the 1926 wheat penny, especially in very fine condition? First, it's a pre-1930s coin, making it historically significant as we move further away from that era. Second, the lack of a mint mark means it was part of a small production batch, but finding it in very fine condition is becoming rarer as time goes on. As more collectors look to complete their sets, and big investment higher quality 1926 pennies are becoming hot commodities. Alright, the part you've all been waiting for, the big question: how much is this coin worth today in very fine condition? Prices fluctuate based on demand, but as of today, a 1926 wheat penny without a mint mark in very fine condition is valued between $470,000. That may seem like much, but remember, this is just for the very fine condition. If you're a collector or investor, the 1926 wheat penny is a smart buy for several reasons. The first is its historical value. As time passes, fewer of these coins will remain in high-quality condition, driving up their demand and price. Secondly, it's part of the wheat penny series, which remains one of the most beloved and widely collected coin series in American history. Whether you're looking to complete a set or just love the nostalgia of these old pennies, the 1926 coin offers great potential. Now, how can you find a 1926 wheat penny? And what should you do if you want to sell one? It's always good to get your coin graded by a professional service, especially if you believe it's in very fine condition or better. Grading can ensure you get the highest value for your coin, and collectors are willing to pay more for certified coins. So there you have it. The 1926 wheat penny without a mint mark in very fine condition is more than just a piece of history. It's a coin with real value in today's market. Whether you're looking to add to your collection or just curious about its worth, this penny is definitely one to keep an eye on. Next up, we're diving deep into one of the most iconic coins in American history, the 1946 wheat penny without a mint mark in very fine condition. What makes this little coin so special, and why is it gaining big value in today's collector market? Stick around as we reveal its history, features, and current market value. First, let's set the stage for the story of the 1946 wheat penny. This penny was minted just after World War II, a time when America was transitioning from wartime production back to a peacetime economy. The nation was recovering, soldiers were returning home, and industries were booming. It was during this period that the 1946 wheat penny came into circulation. The obverse, or head side, of this penny features a familiar face, President Abraham Lincoln, designed by sculptor Victor D. Brenner. This design was introduced in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday and became a staple of American currency. On the reverse, or tails side, you'll find the famous wheat ears. These wheat stalks symbolize prosperity and growth, fitting for a nation that was just starting to prosper again after the war. Now, let's talk about what makes the 1946 wheat penny without a mint mark unique. This particular penny was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use a mint mark during this period. So, if your penny has no mint mark beneath the date, it's from Philadelphia. The 1946 wheat penny was minted in small numbers limited were produced at the Philadelphia Mint. This makes it a relatively uncommon coin compared to some other pennies. However, its value comes up to a combination of factors like condition, rarity in higher grades, and demand in the collector's market. When grading coins, numismatists, the experts who study and collect coins, pay close attention to the coin's wear, luster, and details. Our focus today is on a 1946 wheat penny in very fine condition. In this grade, the coin shows moderate wear on the high points, but most of the details, like Lincoln's face and the wheat ears, remain visible. Let's get to the exciting part. What is the 1946 wheat penny without a mint mark worth today in the collector's market? As of today, in very fine condition, the 1946 wheat penny can fetch anywhere between $250,000 now. You might be thinking that's exactly a fortune, and you're right. Additionally, the historical significance of this coin makes it a popular addition to many collections. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins that tell a story, and the 1946 wheat penny, with its connection to the post-war era, fits that bill perfectly. So, why are collectors still interested in the 1946 wheat penny? Well, aside from its history, it's part of the beloved wheat penny series, which ran from 1909 to 1958. This series is widely collected because of its historical significance, beauty, and the sense of nostalgia it brings to coin enthusiasts. Many collectors aim to complete a full set of wheat pennies and big investment, which includes finding examples from every year and mint mark combination. Even though the 1946 penny without a mint mark is particularly rare. So, if you have a 1946 wheat penny without a mint mark in very fine condition, give you a handsome amount, you do have a piece of history in your hands. It's a coin that's part of a rich tradition in American numismatics and its value. Next up, where we delve deep into the fascinating world of rare and collectible coins. If you're passionate about numismatics or simply curious about the hidden treasures in your pocket change, you're in the right place. Today we're talking about one of the most iconic and widely sought-after coins in U.S. history, the wheat penny. Specifically, we'll be focusing on the 1955 wheat penny with a D-mint mark in very fine condition and a dark brown shade. This humble coin, often found tucked away in old coin jars or inherited collections, holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. The wheat penny was minted from 1909 to 1958 and is known for its distinctive reverse side featuring two wheat stalks surrounding the words 1 cent. But today we're focusing on the 1955 wheat penny with a D-mint mark, a coin that has garnered significant attention in the collector's market. So, what makes the 1955 with D wheat penny special, and why is it worth taking a closer look at? Let's break it down. The 1955 wheat penny was struck during a time of economic growth in the United States. In particular, the Denver Mint, represented by the D-mint mark on the coin, produced limited of pennies that year. The total mintage for the 1955 with D penny was approximately limited coins. While this may seem like a small number, the allure of this coin lies in its condition, toning, and the lasting appeal of the Lincoln wheat cent series. The large mintage may lead you to think that the 1955 with D penny is worth much. That's not the case, especially when you find one in very fine condition, with a distinct dark brown shade. The combination of rarity in higher grades, the history behind the coin, and the growing demand from collectors makes it highly sought after. Condition is everything when it comes to coin collecting. The 1955 with D wheat penny we're discussing today is graded as very fine, which means it shows moderate wear. But all major features are still sharp and clear. Lincoln's face, hair, and the wheat stalks on the reverse are well defined, though some high points may show wear. The dark brown toning on this particular penny adds an extra layer of appeal. Over time, copper coins can develop a natural patina that darkens their appearance. Collectors often prize these toned coins for their unique character. The rich, dark brown color enhances the coin's appearance and can even add to its overall value, depending on the buyer's preference. Now, let's talk numbers, the part we've all been waiting for. What is the current market value of a 1955 with D wheat penny in very fine condition with a dark brown shade? While it's important to note that market values can fluctuate based on demand, auction trends, and the coin's specific features, we can give you a general idea of what to expect. In today's market, a 1955 with D wheat penny in very fine condition typically sells for anywhere between $230,000. However, when you add in the unique dark brown toning, you may be able to fetch slightly more, especially from collectors who are interested in coins with distinctive coloration. If the coin is particularly attractive or exhibits exceptional toning, values can rise up to $270,000 or more. If you have a well-preserved, toned 1955 with D wheat penny, it's worth checking out current listings to see how similar coins are being valued. The 1955 out D wheat penny may seem like an ordinary coin to the untrained eye, but for collectors, it's a piece of history that carries both sentimental and monetary value. Whether you're new to the hobby or a seasoned numismatist, Keeping an eye out for coins like this, especially those with unique toning, could prove to be a rewarding experience. So, the next time you're going through your old penny collection, don't overlook those wheat pennies, especially if you come across a 1955 with D in very fine condition with that beautiful dark brown shade. You never know, you might just have a hidden gem in your collection. Next up, we're taking a deep dive into one of the most iconic American coins ever minted, the 1942 wheat penny without a mint mark, in fine condition. We'll explore its history, design, and of course what you could expect to fetch for one in today's collector market. So stick around as we uncover the true value of this remarkable penny. Let's start by taking a journey back to 1942. The United States was fully involved in World War II, and the U.S. Mint was busy striking limited of coins to support the war economy. Among these coins was the humble 1-cent piece, also known as the Lincoln Wheat Penny. In 1942, the penny continued to feature the same design that had been in place since 1909. On the obverse side or front of the coin is the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, and on the reverse we see two wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, which give this coin its nickname, the wheat penny. Now, you might be wondering what's the deal with the mint mark, or, in this case, the lack of one. Well, pennies produced in 1942 without a mint mark were struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Philadelphia, being the main hub for coin production at the time, didn't include a mint mark on its pennies. If you come across a 1942 wheat penny and notice there's no D for Denver or S for San Francisco on the obverse side under the date, you're holding a Philadelphia coin. But even though these coins were low produced, not all of them are created equal, especially when it comes to their condition. The condition of a coin is crucial in determining its value. We're focusing on a 1942 wheat penny in fine condition. So, what does fine condition mean in the world of coin grading? A penny in fine condition shows some wear on the high points of Lincoln's hair and coat, but overall, the major details are still clear. The wheat stalks on the reverse may also show slight wear but remain visible. While these coins might show their age, they still hold significant value to collectors who appreciate their historical importance. Now for the part you've all been waiting for: how much is a 1942 wheat penny without a mint mark in fine condition worth in today's market? As of today, a 1942 wheat penny in fine condition typically fetches anywhere between $200,000. While this might seem highest, it's important to remember that the penny's value increases significantly based on the condition, rarity, and demand from collectors. So, while a fine condition penny gives you a decent amount overnight, it is still a valued piece for collectors, especially those who want to complete their wheat penny collection. The true worth of this coin lies in its historical significance and its place in numismatic collections. But what factors determine the exact value of your 1942 wheat penny? Here are a few key considerations. Rarity: even though limited were minted, finding well-preserved examples can be rare. Historical interest: coins from the WWII era often attract more interest because of their connection to this pivotal time in history. Demand: the popularity of wheat pennies ensures that there will always be a market for them, even if prices fluctuate. If you're looking to sell or buy a 1942 wheat penny in fine condition, there are several avenues to explore. Be sure to compare prices and always check the credibility of the seller. The 1942 wheat penny without a mint mark in fine condition may carry a hefty price tag. It's still an important piece of American history. Its highest value in today's market reflects its low availability. For collectors, it's a must-have to complete their wheat penny collection and big investment. Next up, we're talking about one of the most beloved coins in U.S. history, the 1944 with D mint mark wheat penny in very fine condition. You won't believe the big market value this coin can hold today. First, let's talk about the wheat penny in general. Introduced in 1909 and minted until 1958, the Lincoln wheat cent or wheat penny features the bust of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and two stalks of wheat on the reverse. It was the first U.S. coin to depict an actual historical figure. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the penny was made to honor Lincoln's 100th birthday. The wheat penny is iconic for its simple yet classic design. Collectors love it because of its rich history and, of course, the potential value some of these coins hold, especially if they come from certain years or mint marks. Now, let's focus on the year 1944. The 1944 pennies are particularly interesting because they were struck right after World War II, during a time when metal resources were limited. In 1943, pennies were made from steel coated with zinc to conserve copper for the war effort, but by 1944, production switched back to copper using recycled shell casings. This makes 1944 a historically significant year in coin production. The 1944 wheat pennies are composed primarily of copper and are considered more uncommon than their steel counterparts, but certain mint marks from that year, like the D for Denver, can be worth far more depending on their condition. So, why does the 1944 with D wheat penny specifically command such attention? For starters, it was minted in Denver, which means it carries the D mint mark just below the date on the front of the coin. The Denver Mint produced limited of these pennies in 1944. Limited might not sound like a lot. The key to a coin's value is just how many were minted, but also its condition and rarity in higher grades today. And that's where the real money comes into play. When grading coins, collectors look at details like sharpness of design, level of wear, and overall eye appeal. A 1944 with D weak penny in very fine condition means it has moderate wear, but all the design elements are still clear and distinct. Now, if you're looking at your own 1944 with D penny and wondering if it's in very fine condition, here are some things to look for. The lines of Lincoln's coat should still be visible. The wheat stalks on the reverse should show clear lines, although some wear is expected. And while there might be some smooth areas, the coin should retain most of its details. So, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for, the value. As of today, the 1944 with D wheat penny in very fine condition can command a decent price on the collector's market. In very fine condition, this coin can be worth anywhere from $257,000. While that might sound like much, it's also worth noting that even if the value of a 1944 with D penny in very fine condition give you a handsome amount, these coins could increase in value over time as fewer remain in good condition. Keeping your coins well preserved can pay off big in the future, especially as interest in coin collecting continues to grow. The coin market is always evolving, and coins that are merely uncommon today could become rarer and more valuable in the years to come. That wraps up today's deep dive into the 1944 with D wheat penny. If you've got one of these coins in your collection, make sure to check its condition. It could be worth more than you think. And even if it's a huge payday today, remember that every coin tells a piece of history and has the potential to grow in value over time. Next up, we've got a very special penny on the agenda, the 1947 wheat penny with the D mint mark. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just starting your journey, this coin is one you definitely want to know more about. So stick around as we explore its history, characteristics, and most importantly, its current value in today's collector market. Let's get started. First, let's talk about the historical significance of this penny. The 1947 with D wheat penny was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the United States' primary mints, which is represented by the small D mint mark, located just below the date on the coin. Wheat pennies, also known as wheat cents, were minted from 1909 to 1958, and their reverse side features the iconic wheat stalks designed by Victor David Brenner. The 1947 penny was minted shortly after World War II, in a period where copper was again being used for coins after the war efforts had ceased. While limited of these pennies were minted, finding one in very fine condition, like the one we'll be discussing today, can still be a treasure for collectors. The obverse side features the profile of Abraham Lincoln, a design that's been on the penny since 1909. Key details to look for in a very fine condition penny include minimal wear on Lincoln's hair, cheekbones, and jawline. The word Liberty and the date should be crisp and clear with only light wear. On the reverse, you'll find the wheat stalks on either side of the words 1 cent and United States of America in a very fine condition penny. These wheat stalks should still show most of their lines and details, with only moderate wear at the high points. Collectors place a premium on coins in better condition, which is why a 1947 with D penny in very fine condition stands out from those that have seen more wear and tear. These coins still retain much of their original detail, making them a prized addition to a collection. Now, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for, the value. How much is a 1947 with D wheat penny worth in very fine condition in today's collector market? While the value of coins can vary depending on a number of factors such as rarity, demand, and condition, as of today, a 1947 with D wheat penny in very fine condition generally holds a value between $220,000 now. I know that may seem like a huge amount, but remember, this is for a coin in very fine condition, which is considered a middle-tier grade. It's also in the story it tells. For collectors, every coin holds a piece of history, and the wheat penny is an enduring symbol of American culture and design. It's a reminder of the post-World War II era and the return to normalcy in the United States. So, if you've got one of these 1947 with D pennies in your collection, take a close look at it. Check for that D mint mark, examine the details, and see what condition it's in. Whether you're holding onto it for its historical significance or its potential as a collectible, the 1947 with D wheat penny is a great piece of numismatic history. Next up, we're diving deep into one of the most iconic coins in American history, the 1934 wheat penny specifically. We're going to be talking about one in fine but dirty condition and exploring its current market value. Is it worth keeping or selling? Stick around to find out. The 1934 wheat penny without a mint mark may be the rarest coin out there. It still holds a significant place in the hearts of collectors and coin enthusiasts. Let's explore why this coin has continued to generate interest in the collector market today. The wheat penny was minted from 1909 to 1958, and the 1934 version, without a mint mark, was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Limited of these were minted, making it relatively uncommon. However, factors like its condition, dirt, and historical context all play a part in determining its value today. Let's take a step back into 1934. The United States was in the midst of the Great Depression, and many Americans were struggling to make ends meet. The pennies minted during this era were not just coins. They were symbols of hope, struggle, and survival for millions of people. Now, let's talk about the specific coin we're focusing on today, a 1934 wheat penny, without a mint mark, in fine condition but dirty. So what does fine mean in the world of coin collecting? In numismatic terms, fine condition means the coin has moderate wear, but it still retains the details in major areas like Lincoln's profile and the wheat ears on the reverse. It's not a pristine coin by any means, but for a coin that's 90 years old, it's still decent. Dirty coins are often ones that have seen heavy circulation or have been improperly stored. They may have grime or corrosion that can affect their appearance, but that doesn't always diminish their value in the eyes of collectors who appreciate the history. So, how much is this 1934 wheat penny worth today in fine, dirty condition? Let's break down the market value for collectors in dollars. The base value for a 1934 wheat penny in fine condition starts around $200,000, a huge sum, right? But the value can fluctuate based on factors like demand, historical significance, and the story behind the coin itself. In dirty condition, this value can drop slightly, bringing the market value to anywhere between $78,000. Many collectors treasure these pennies for their history and significance. It's not just about how much money you can get, but the story each coin tells. The 1934 wheat penny may have passed through the hands of countless Americans during one of the toughest periods in U.S. history. That in itself adds to its allure. So, is it worth holding on to your 1934 wheat penny in fine, dirty condition? Absolutely. While the current collector market value may be staggering, these coins could increase in value over time, especially as they become scarcer. And even if it doesn't, the historical significance makes it a piece worth keeping. Next up, explore a coin that has sparked the interest of collectors for decades, the wheat penny, specifically the 1925 1 cent without a mint mark. This little coin may look like just another penny to some, but it holds significant value in today's collector market, especially if it's in very fine condition. Stick around as we unravel its history, key features, and most importantly, how much it's worth today. Let's kick things off with some history behind the 1925 wheat penny. For those unfamiliar, the wheat penny, also known as the Lincoln wheat cent, was first minted in 1909 and ran until 1958. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a president's portrait, in this case, Abraham Lincoln, on the obverse side. The reverse side of the penny features two wheat stalks, hence the name wheat penny. The 1925 penny we're talking about today was minted in Philadelphia, as indicated by the absence of a mint mark. In the 1920s, Philadelphia was the primary mint for producing these pennies. This coin represents an era in American history marked by significant social and economic changes following World War I. Despite being nearly a century old, this penny remains a favorite among collectors due to its historical significance, and in some cases, high collector value. Now let's take a closer look at the key features of the 1925 wheat penny. On the obverse side, we have Abraham Lincoln's portrait with the words "In God We Trust" inscribed above his head. To the left is Liberty, and to the right is the year 1925. This coin doesn't have a mint mark, which means it was minted in Philadelphia. On the reverse side, we see the classic wheat stalks on either side of the coin with 1 cent and United States of America in the middle. At the top, you'll notice the phrase "E pluribus unum." These wheat stalks are a symbol of America's agricultural strength and prosperity during that time. When it comes to determining a coin's value, condition is everything. For this particular 1925 wheat penny, we're focusing on coins in very fine or VF condition. So, what exactly does that mean? A coin in very fine condition shows some wear, but all the major details are still visible and sharp. For instance, you'll notice slight wear on Lincoln's cheekbone and hair, but his features are still clear and distinct. On the reverse side, the wheat stalks may show some flattening but are still prominent. This condition is desirable for collectors because the coin still retains much of its original detail while showing just enough wear to prove its age and authenticity. Now, for the part you've all been waiting for, the market value of a 1925 wheat penny without a mint mark in very fine condition. As of today, the collector's market for this coin can vary depending on where you sell it and demand among collectors, but let me break it down for you. In general, a 1925 wheat penny in very fine condition typically sells for around $1 million. That may seem like a lot for a nearly 100-year-old coin, but remember, this is for very fine condition. If you have one in even better condition like extra fine or uncirculated, then the value can rise significantly. The value also depends on where you sell the coin. If you're lucky, you might find a buyer willing to pay a premium for the coin due to its historical value or rarity in their collection. So why do collectors love the 1925 wheat penny? Aside from its age and historical significance, this coin is a great entry point for beginner collectors who want to own a piece of early 20th century American coinage. Its relatively modest price in VF condition makes it accessible, while its scarcity in higher grades keeps it valuable for seasoned collectors. It's also a piece of history. Owning one of these pennies is like holding a little snapshot of 1920s America when flapper culture was on the rise, prohibition was in full swing, and the country was on the cusp of the Great Depression. For collectors who love both history and numismatics, this coin is a must-have. Before we wrap up, here are a few quick tips if you're looking to buy or sell a 1925 wheat penny. Get it professionally graded if you think your coin is in excellent condition. Consider sending it to a professional grading service. This can increase its value and make it easier to sell. Research current prices. Prices fluctuate, so make sure you check the current market value, price guides, and reputable coin dealers. Stay informed as a collector. Staying up to date on coin trends is key to maximizing your investment and finding the best deals. And there you have it. The 1925 wheat penny may be small, but it carries a big value in the world of coin collecting, especially if you have one in very fine condition. If you're lucky enough to own one of these coins, it could be worth much more than just 1 cent. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of coin collecting, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our future videos. Let me know in the comments if you have a 1925 wheat penny or any other rare coins you'd like to learn more about. Thanks for watching and happy collecting.